I'm the first American born in my family. And so my parents are from Guyana. And, well, you Guyanese?
You don't see my gold eagle?
What's up, y'all? It's Ashley.
It's Melody.
And Cody here. And you've tapped into
The Mama's Den.
Welcome to
It is.
the Mama's Den. It's your girl,
Welcome,
Ashley.
welcome.
Who am I here with today?
Well, let's start. Well, Ashley, how many kids do you have? Reintroduce yourself to our audience and our guests who we will announce.
Okay, so it is Ashley Chia. I am a mother of 4 daughters. I have a 16-year-old Amira, a 9-year-old Azara, 7-year-old Atalia. Nope, that's Asia. And the 3-year-old is Atalia.
It's a lot of kids, friend.
It's a lot. I'm sorry. All their names start with an A. That's all you need to know.
I'm Melanie Fiona. I have only 2 children. And there's Cameron, who's 9, and Kaya, who is 3.
All right. And I am Cody Elaine Oliver. I have 3 children, 6-year-old twins who will be 7 in a month, less than a month, and a 9-year-old, Brooks, who I keep forgetting is 9 because he turned 9 about a week ago. So we're in birthday season. And before we'll just jump in because we hear that baritone, so we want our guests to know that we have a special guest today here in the Mama's Den, y'all.
Have a daddy in the den. That is how we label y'all. A daddy in the den.
Well, I think now I'm a zaddy, right? Because I'm getting a little.
I wasn't gonna say it because I know your wife, but it's
I'm not calling nobody else's husband a zaddy.
I just been hearing that a lot with my gray beard here.
Well, who's telling you that? So, no, I'm kidding.
The folks, okay? So listen, y'all, today on the Mama's Den, we are joined by actor Sean Patrick Thomas, known for unforgettable roles like Save the Last Dance, which was literally 2001.
Wow.
Barbershop, and powerful performances in Till, which Ashley and I saw together. Reasonable Doubt with our girl Emma Yahtzee, American Horror Story, The Good Fight, and he, for our audience, he can currently be seen as the superhuman Polarity in Amazon Prime's Gen V.
Hey.
Beyond the screen, he's a father of 2 and a husband to Queen Annika from Nolens, and a storyteller whose work and life will always center legacy, love, and truth. Hey, Sean.
We love.
Hey, how y'all doing?
How are you?
Glad to be here. I'm fantastic. I'm very glad to be joining you guys. I'm big fans of what you guys are doing. So happy to be here.
We appreciate it.
Thank you. And we're big fans of your work. It is,
Thank you.
I mean, quite the resume, as we all know, entertainment is a tough game of any range. I'm in music. And so film and television, to be working and continuously working is really a beautiful thing. And so, congratulations on all your success.
Thank you.
And everything that you contributed.
I appreciate that.
I want to talk about like parenthood, but
okay.
I'm gonna throw a random question out here first because the resume is resumeing.
Yeah.
I would like to know if there's one particular role that you've played that just is so dear to you that you just cherish for the rest of your life.
Wow. For me, it's Joseph Asagai in A Raisin in the Sun. It's the first role I ever got to do on stage way back when I was in college. And then I got the opportunity to do it again on Broadway, on a Broadway production with Denzel Washington and Sophia Canedo and Nika Nani Rose and LaTanya Richardson Jackson and Stephen McKinley Henderson. And just that full circle feeling of the first role I ever did in my life when I was a teenager, I got to do again as an older guy on Broadway. For me, that just has so much meaning and kind of like a full circle feeling to it that's very special to me, Raisin in the Sun.
Wow. That's a beautiful full circle moment for an artist. It's just really, it's very divine when you know that you've been called in one area and then you're called again in another area to play that same role is really beautiful. Congratulations on that. I just recently moved to the East Coast from the West Coast. And so New York is like right there. And I definitely have Broadway dreams. So we'll see what happens. I love that Broadway is a legacy thing. You can do it at any time in your life. And it's really an amazing outlet.
Yeah. So it was a very exciting time, and I was very grateful to have that, I guess, poetic, ending to
Yeah.
feeling like this is where I started and this is where I am.
That's
Right.
amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, Sean,
And
how many
speaking,
children do
oh,
you have? What's that?
No,
Excuse
go
me.
for it, Ashley, because we definitely.
How
Yeah.
many children do you have?
I have two children. I have a 17-year-old Lola Jolie, and I have a 15-year-old Luc Laurent. And
Oh.
I love the Creole French New Orleans names. man.
yeah. I mean, that's all.
Sprinkled in there.
Yeah, that's all my beautiful wife Annika, and she's great with the names.
Yeah,
And
those are beautiful names.
yeah, those two are the most magnificent children I ever could have hoped to have. They're beyond my wildest dreams.
Cool.
The way they have turned out and who they are. There's some things that Annika and I can take credit for. There's some things that we can't. And but overall, they've just been a joy and the best part of our lives. And
So,
they make
in
me
the-
very happy.
In the spirit of the Den, Sean, what
Yes.
is happening in your parenting life right now? Like, what sports are they doing? Like,
Mm.
what colleges are we viewing, or are
Yeah.
we? Like, what's going on here?
The big thing right now is college. My
Right.
daughter Lola's applying to colleges, and she's trying to decide, what school is my favorite. It kind of goes back and forth. She's very, very motivated, extremely ambitious, and I'm so proud of her. And she has a couple schools that are at the top of her list, and she's going for those. And we went on a college tour last spring, and we saw a bunch of schools in the Midwest and in the East Coast. And my son has been a gymnast his entire life
Oh,
until
wow.
this year. Luke
he
decided to stop.
stopped?
He stopped gymnastics, yeah,
Wow.
and he started soccer about 5 or 6 months ago. So,
wait.
Wait.
I have a quick-
Wait, we all have questions. Okay, I'm going
Yes.
first. So how does that make you feel as a father to kind of have your child's identity be and gymnastics is like, I was a ballet dancer, so I understand like
okay.
gymnastics is a commitment,
Yes,
like money wise,
Mhm.
time wise,
all of that.
toll on your body.
Yes.
So for you as a parent, like, because obviously there's space for like his experience, but I want to know like your experience as a father. What was that transition like for you? Where like how to support him in gymnastics, and now he's coming to you.
Yeah.
Like, I want to change everything that I've been doing. What was that like?
It was a big deal. It was a big, big deal because, like you said, our entire family schedule was based around his schedule as a gymnast. He practiced like 25, 26 hours a week.
Oof.
And so he had practiced 6 out of 7 days a week, and we traveled all over the country to different meets. And he was highly ranked. He was in like the top 15, top 20 in his age group in the country
Wow.
in gymnastics. And so it was extremely intense for all of us for all these years. But at the same time, when you watch your son do something miraculous, when you watch him fly through the air, when you watch him do things that like nobody else on the planet can do except for a small fraction of people, there's something about that that's just thrilling and very exciting. And we're always so just very proud of him with what he could do with his body and the hard work and the dedication that he put into it. But there came a point where he decided, you know what, I want to try something else. I'm 14. This is back when he was 14, and if I don't try something else now, I'll never get another chance. And so that's kind of where that all came from. And as much as we loved watching him fly through the air, we had to honor and respect what he was saying and where he was coming from and how he felt. And he handled it like a man. Like Annika and I were like, okay, we'll go talk to the coach and we'll explain. And my son Luke was like, no, I'm going to go talk to him. And we went and we watched him through these glass windows, and we watched him have this very serious, intense conversation with his coach. It was very emotional for both of them. And just to see my son walk up there and handle it like a man made me very, very proud. And then the way he's tackled soccer ever since then has just been incredible. He's working hard. He's kicking the ball against the wall constantly here, like it doesn't stop. And he's just really embraced the challenge of learning a whole new sport and mastering it. So I'm very proud of him.
Okay, y'all, why am I crying? Like, why am I literally?
maturity.
It is. It's really
Yeah.
beautiful, and understanding the maturity required. I want to ask you a question though, because
Yes.
I think I understand, but I want to hear how you would articulate describing him having this conversation like a man.
Mhm.
What does that mean to you? What does that look like?
What that means to me is he was not afraid to have that hard conversation. It means that I think a lot of kids his age would have been like, Mom, Dad, would you go talk to the coach and tell him what I'm thinking? And, I'll be over here. And then you tell me how it went. I think a lot of kids would be like that.
Yeah.
And Luke was like, no, like I have to do this on my own. And I guess if you're going to talk about like a man, whatever that's supposed to mean, in this sense, it meant as scary as it may have been to do, doing it anyway.
Yeah.
And I just have so much respect for that. And that's what I mean when I said, he did it like, you could say he did it like a grown up or he did it like a man, however you want to put it. But I really, 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 I was so proud of him when he decided to handle it that way.
No, I mean, like for me, when I think of a man, that's what I think of, someone who is going to handle things that are difficult, going to have those hard conversations. Trust me, there's so many grown men who don't do that. So
Yes. Yeah.
I would agree. But also, I just want to tell you that, my husband and I both played soccer in high school too. So don't worry, you'll be very busy again.
Okay. Oh no, don't get it twisted. It's every weekend. A game on Saturday, a game on Sunday. It doesn't stop. So
join a traveling league, and you will be back to that same schedule.
we haven't gotten to that yet, but I'm ready for all of it.
Okay, so I have a question to piggyback off of something you said earlier on. So you said your daughter is super driven. Your
Yes.
son is obviously very mature and very driven and very dedicated.
Yeah.
So who'd they get that from? You, your wife, or is it from God?
Ah, gosh.
Because they
know
both
what?
got the quality.
There's only one right answer. No, I'm kidding.
well, no, I'm going to say I feel like Annika and I tried to model that for sure. Neither one of us is a lazy type of person that's just willing to just like, let life come to us. We try and, snatch it. But I have to say my daughter in particular, she's a budding journalist. And she just took that on without any push from us at all. She's extremely dedicated to learning the craft of journalism. I remember last year we had these horrible rains. It rained for like 2 weeks straight or something like that. And it was like, a monsoon. And she would go out there with her microphone and her camera and her umbrella and do her little weather report and, send it into school. And she's won several national journalism awards already.
Wow.
She's applying to all the top journalism schools in the country. And all of that came from her. None of us pushed her, to do that. But she was just very determined to be the best journalist that she knew how to be. And just to see her find that focus and find that passion and interest in something and then run with it the way she has is just, I sit back in awe, and I wish I had that when I was her age.
I think it's so beautiful to, as parents, when you can see your children living to their fullest potential
Yeah.
at any age. And
Yeah.
honestly, like I don't know you or your wife personally, but I think it's truly a testament to, and I always say this, like children don't do as they're told, they do as they see. And I think why it's so important for parents and adults of children to pursue their goals and to pivot and to go after things and to try things is really, really important for your children to also feel like they have the permission to go after things and try things and
Yeah.
to see their parents doing it,
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so I think it's really, really beautiful. And as far as, the goals of what parents want, we want our kids to be happy. We want our kids
Yeah.
to be healthy. But we want our kids to be fulfilled and we want our kids to be confident within their goals and their direction in life. And so, congrats on that to you and your wife, because you guys
Thanks.
obviously have done
Yeah.
something really beautiful that empowers them to be so driven, so successful and determined.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have to give credit to Annika, I think, because Lola idolizes her mom. Like she just, everything that Annika does, like Lola's like, okay. All right. I got, you know what I mean? Like she studies her. And so whenever I see Lola doing amazing things, I have to give Annika, I guess, most of the credit because she really tries to, I think, emulate Annika's ambition and Annika's sense of that anything is possible. Like that, that's Annika. So I'd like to take some credit for that, but that's all her mom.
So
Wow.
fun fact, and then a question. So
Yes.
I adore you guys and my girl Annika.
Likewise.
And for anyone who doesn't know, Sean and Annika were in the first season of Black Love.
Yeah.
And they were some of the first people we told in the world when we were pregnant with Brooks.
Yeah.
Like we were maybe a month or two in, and we had a conversation, this interview with them, and quite a bit of it was about their journey to having Lola.
Yes.
And we were pregnant, and we were kind of sitting there like, do we tell them? And we told them that, like, literally the first people that we told before that 3-month period. And it was just like such a sweet memory for me, because I admire you guys so much. And so I'm curious how you would describe, so you're raising these awesome kids, right? We are all very clear in both what they're accomplishing and how they carry themselves, and giving credit to Annika, of course. How have you guys had to arrange your lives and sacrifice and organize? And parenting is logistics a lot of the time.
Yeah.
What does that look like for y'all for the last 17 years?
It depends on what's going on at the time. Annika is writing now. She's a great screenwriter. And so like there were times when the kids were younger where Annika's like, okay, I've set this deadline and I have to finish these pages. And so I would take the kids and we'd go to the movies, or we'd go to the park, or do whatever we had to do so that Annika could have her quiet time here at the house, to meet her deadlines. And then other times, now all your auditions, are on tape, and so Annika, be like, okay, I'll get the kids out of the house. I'll put the dog in the crate, and then, what time is that going to start? What time are you going to finish? She's my reader, for my auditions. Like she's the one who reads off camera, so she has to deal with, getting the kids dealt with, getting the dog dealt with, coming back, reading with me, checking my lights and, whatever else I have, my wardrobe, everything, everything is a team effort. And we just take it one day at a time. It's too overwhelming to think too far ahead about all the things that we have to do and all the things and how we're going to do it. We just kind of, most of the time, we just take each challenge as it comes and talk it through and think it through on a day-to-day basis.
That's beautiful. I feel like now that my daughter is she's a junior, so we have one more year before she goes to college, and I still have 3 other children, but I do think about the shift in our household when she leaves. Like she's just hell-bent on going to NYU. I'm like, there are 8,000 other colleges, but she is like, I believe in my heart she's going to get in, but I still trying to encourage her to apply other places. But Amira has always been one of those people who's like, she sees it, she does it, it's done. And so she wants to, be a screenwriter, wants to get into film. But I think about like she's such an integral part of our home. She was our first child. She was an only child for 7 years. Do you and your wife think about like life after children? Like you're going to have one, and even that
empty nesting.
Yeah, like or just having 2 kids in the house and then potentially just having one. Like, is that something you look forward to, or does it make you sad?
We don't look forward to it. The greatest joy, the greatest thrill of both of our lives, I think I can speak for her, is our children. Every single morning when we get up and we see them, it feels like Christmas every single day. We're intoxicated with them. And the idea of Lola moving on next year is something that we're so proud of her, but at the same time, we're like, oh my God, like that's our heart. We waited so long to even meet her, to even have her join us. It was a long struggle, in terms of, carrying a pregnancy to term and having her finally here. And it just seems like it was so fast, the whole process. And now she's about to go. And no, we're not those people that's like, oh wow, it's gonna be great when they're out of here. Like we're not like that, we want them all the time. And
well, they'll be back. If I can guarantee you, if you've created a beautiful life with love for those kids, they will be back.
Okay,
And
well,
especially
that's good to hear.
if Annika can cook some good New Orleans food.
Oh, she cooks it all. She cooks it all. Yeah.
It's a
She
beautiful
makes
thing
homemade
about.
donuts.
Oh, the beignets.
Oh yeah, the beignets. Yeah, we do that every year, Christmas and New Year's. We do that.
That your family makes me so happy. I've met your wife a couple times. She's amazing.
She is.
But it makes me feel good because I feel like sometimes my husband and we are equally intoxicated with our children. And I literally told my friend that the other day. Like I was standing in the bathroom and my daughters came in and I had this, like I literally could cry. I had this overwhelming feeling of joy.
Yes.
Where I was like very clear, like this is the most important thing in my entire life. Nothing else makes me feel the way I feel when I look at my children when I'm with my husband. And so sometimes I feel weird because a lot of people will, they're like, I can't wait till my kids get out of the home.
I don't get it.
Me neither.
I don't get it.
So sad. I'm like, don't leave me, Amir. I told her, I was like, but you know what she said to me that was the sweetest thing? So I got my associates and then because I had her and then I didn't finish school. And she was like, Mom, I think you should enroll at NYU and we should go to school together. And she's like, you should finish your degree. Like, let's just go to film school together. And I was like,
look,
I have other
tempting,
kids,
right?
Okay.
I know that's tempting.
I'm considering it. I'm just being honest.
Absolutely.
I believe you 100%, Ashley.
Yes.
I would love that.
Right.
That's hilarious. Well, we're gonna say goodbye to Ashley in a year. Nevertheless,
and the other kids, you're on your own.
Right. I know, right? They can come.
Best of luck.
We'll take care of them here. I got you.
Okay.
So I wanna get into Gen V.
Okay.
And it's a spinoff of The Boys, right?
Yes.
And it's pretty intense. So I would love for you to tell our audience about the show because you will do a much better job than we will.
Okay. Gen V is set at a fictional college for superheroes, for young superheroes. And it's a spinoff of a show called The Boys, which is basically a satire about what if normal, regular people had superpowers. And it's basically a commentary on how those superpowers how the superpowers enhance or expand on what your personal qualities are. So if you're a flawed person, your superpowers make you even more flawed and more dangerous, And so human nature is such that people are greedy, people are selfish, people are lazy, whatever it is. And so you see superheroes with those qualities, and how does that manifest itself? And so on Gen V, these are young superheroes who haven't mastered their abilities yet. They're just coming into their own. And so there's a context that they're put in where the adults are seeing, oh, okay, these kids have these superpowers. How can we use that to exploit them? How can we use that to manipulate them? Because most of the people that have superpowers in this world that we're in don't use it for noble ends. They use it for selfish gains. And so these kids at Godolphin University and Gen V, they're victims of the adults in their lives, using them to see how they can, promote their own agendas. And so I play Polarity, who's the father of a young superhero who he and I had storyline together in the first season. And the second season, the actor who played my son, Chance Perdomo, he passed away in real life. And so in the second season, we explore my character's grief of losing his son, his desire for justice and revenge about how his son came to pass. And it goes into a larger story about how this corporation called Vought, which is a company that employs and exploits these superheroes for entertainment value, how they're trying to use these kids at Godolphin University to pretty corrupt ends. And so my character also has a part to play in kind of pushing back on all of that.
So, first off, so intense, but really, really interesting. And how on earth are you able to play a father who lost a son as a father of, you know, 2 kids and a son? Like, what is that process that works?
I mean, I don't even know if I could articulate it really. Because I knew Chance and because I respected Chance and I had such feeling for him that I already felt kind of like a father figure to Chance, you know, from the first season of the show. And so it really wasn't a big leap to feel that void. It really wasn't a big leap to feel that sense of hopelessness and that sense of, you know, what potential had been lost.
Yeah.
I already felt that for Chance anyway, you know, and so you just try and carry that on into the work and into the words that are on the page, and the writers did a brilliant, amazing job of setting up situations and giving relationships that kind of allow you to explore those things in a way that felt natural.
I know that Gen V really sits in a world where morality is flexible. You
Yes.
outline that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for your character, for Polarity, how do you feel like you are drawing the line and where are you blurring it? Especially now that you're dealing with grief and revenge.
Right. Well, in the first season of the show, my character Polarity was completely down with this corporation, Vought. Like he wanted his son to rise up into the Vought ranks and become a part of what's called the Seven, which is like the top group of famous, nationally recognized superheroes. You know, he wanted his son to be in that group. And he basically was a sellout to me in terms of allowing this corporation to exploit kids and to exploit the truth and to, you know, really just run amok with corruption and with hurting people. And my character in the first season, really didn't care as long as his son got the come up, you know. And so in the second season, he realizes, you know, his complicity in this system is part of what got his son killed. And so he really has to face the guilt and the shame of the role that he played in his own son's death, and learn to basically man up and not allow himself to be a tool of this corrupt, you know, corporation.
I have a question when it comes to the cast, because obviously you said it's a school for young kids with superpowers, right?
Yeah.
So you're working with a lot of younger talent, I'm sure, on this show than maybe some of the other productions or TV shows that you've been on.
Yeah.
What is that like for you as an actor? How do you feel like is there like an air of mentorship in that? Is there also an air of learning from them about the way they approach their art, and how does that inspire you? And also, you know, in the dynamics of playing off each other in roles like that.
It's funny. I spent most of my career generally feeling like I'm the young one on set. You know, I've always kind of felt like the kid, you know, and overnight I'm not, you know, and they call me Unc on set. I couldn't believe it. I was like,
you made it to Unc. Well, it's okay. You're an
talking to
Unc.
me.
You're not
Unc and Zaddy.
You're not OG yet. You're
not
still
OG
Unc.
yet.
Unc.
Yeah, one of the people on the show called me Unc. It was very funny. We had a good laugh about it. But yeah, you know, I'm at that stage in life now where I'm working with, you know, when you work with people that are 30 years old and younger, you know, I guess that's how they see you, you know, and I love it. I love it. I mean, they a lot of them have come to me for advice, not just on acting, but life things. Chance and I used to talk a lot about things that had nothing to do with acting. And that's really the most of it. It's not really so much of me being a mentor of, you know, this is how you approach the scene, or this is how you approach the character, or the acting. And it was really not really much of that. It was much more so a holistic thing of hey, you know, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. And so how are you going to conduct yourself? How are you going to handle yourself? How are you going to be a pro? You know, What else do you have going on outside of your life that's going to feed your work? The discussions are much more in that lane than anything else.
Without giving us any spoilers, what themes about power and protection most resonated with you this season?
Well, the biggest thing for me is the degree to which the story on the show is kind of mirroring what's going on in real life right now. You know, a corrupt, fascist, lying monster.
Psych, we love you.
Right, right.
Imposing his agenda on everybody else. You know, on our show, that character would be Homelander. He's also a character on The Boys, but he also his shadow is cast over us on Gen V. And then
So,
obviously
I just want to interrupt. I've watched The Boys, and Homelander is a menace.
he's crazy. He's crazy.
I mean, just a brilliant actor to act that level of crazy. I mean, it's truly captivating. His character is, incredible.
Yeah, amazing. And so, you know, our show is mirroring what's happening in real life in a lot of ways. And I'm very proud to be a part of a show that holds that mirror up and shows how dark and twisted the end could be if we keep going down this path. And when you're an actor, a lot of the time you feel like you're in this frivolous business that's just for the entertainment or whatever. But when you're doing a show like Gen V and you're really tackling these topics that mean a lot to me, it's very gratifying. And I think it's a very important show because there's things going on in the show that are so directly analogous to what's going on in real life that hopefully younger people who are watching the show will be like, wait a minute, that's going on now and that's not good. And maybe, hopefully, it'll spur them to action and to vote and to talk to their friends and do things the right way and you know, not be so passive and be active in making our country better than the path that we're going on right now.
No, the one thing I asked my daughter, because she watches the show last night, I was like, is there anything you want me to ask? And she was like, no, she was like, I want you to tell him that it's literally what you just said. She says she appreciates there being a show because that is reflecting what's happening. Because she says like my daughter she's a little like hippy dippy, but she was just like, sometimes I feel like I'm in a simulation. And she's like, I get on Instagram and people are TikTok dancing and the world is crumbling. And she's like, right. Yeah. But they want to hear music that it's like almost like the 70s. You know what I mean? When everyone was making protest music, like they want to hear music that's talking about what's happening. They want to see television shows that really address what's going on because art is important. You know, like even though it may feel frivolous, like being an actor, it's being a music artist. Those are some of the most important roles because you're literally speaking for a generation and speaking about what's happening. So you're either going to use that voice, to your point, to create art that really helps people to think about what's going on and kind of almost it like plants the seed of change, right? Or you're just literally creating like noise. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Everyone's screaming into a vacuum. So my 17-year-old, is she 17? Oh, she's 16. Jesus.
16, right? Yeah.
She'll be 17 in March. But she appreciates it. And I thought that was really beautiful that's literally what I was like thinking she was going to say something else. She was like, no, she was like, I really appreciate that so she's always like, I want you guys to talk more about politics with your show. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so tired.
Well,
I don't want to.
Yeah, that's a big ball of wax. There.
Yeah, but she, I mean, the message is getting clear, and I think that people are really understanding and making that correlation. So
good.
You're welcome. Yeah,
especially young people. I mean, that's honestly great because they all we got.
Yeah, I mean, they don't watch the news generally. You know, they get their information from TikTok and Instagram and whatever else. You know, and so for them to get a sense of context from a show like Gen V is huge, and I really hope that it makes an impact.
I think it is for sure.
Good.
Are your kids watching it?
They are, but only because I'm on it. But I'll tell you that, and this is why, because it's so raw. It's so over the top. It's so crazy The stuff that's going on is just nuts on this show, and that's why it's entertaining, and that's part of why people love it. But there's things on it that, like, if I wasn't on it, I'd walk through the room and be like, hey, what's that? What are you watching? What is this?
All right, what is happening?
You know, and I have to put that to the side because I'm on it. So I let it slide in this case.
But
That's funny.
I do want to ask you, if your children wanted to switch their careers again
Mhm.
and get into the arts and become actors, how would that make you happy, or do you want them to charter their own path?
Man.
Good one, Ashley.
To be honest with you, I'd have mixed feelings about it, because on one hand, I'd be flattered and I guess proud that they looked at me as some type of role model in that sense. But on the other hand, this business is so hard. It's so competitive. It's living in the unknown all of the time. And you have to be wired a certain way to handle that. You have to be wired a certain way to hear no 99% of the time and still keep trucking. You have to be a little crazy. And I would worry about just their peace of mind and their happiness dealing with the ups and downs of what this business is, because it's not a business where your hard work equals a certain outcome. It's not that type of business, you know? And so,
Or your talent
or your talent. And so,
at times, yeah.
because it's that type of business, I feel like I'd be worried about them all the time. But if they're passionate and doing what they love and is bringing them joy, I mean, I wouldn't want to stand in the way of that at all. I mean, my mom let me fly when it came to me saying I wanted to be an actor, you know. And I mean, I remember Annika and I had this debate when I met Cody years ago. I said there's a part of me that loves it so much that I would do it for free, and and Annika was like, well, wait a minute, hold on, free? I was like, well, no, I wouldn't do it for free, but the seeds of where it comes from, I love it so much that when I'm doing it, it doesn't feel like work. And that's what I want for them, no matter what it is that they choose to do.
Yes. Absolutely.
That makes me think, like, I feel like there's this theme of like protection and guidance, you know, obviously the Gen V parenting themes for you, and clearly we are the Mama's Den and we have a daddy in the den. When you think about like protection in 2025 and between the politics of it all and also the area that your kids are in, evolving onto college, onto new athletics, etc., like, what does protection mean to you? How do you protect them differently right now than you did when they were 6 and 8?
For me, it means thick skin. For me, it means resilience. It means, okay, so-and-so said this thing. How are you going to handle it? What are you going to do? Are you going to allow yourself to be beat down or intimidated by it? Or are you going to clap back? Or are you going to ignore it? Or are you going to keep on pushing? You know, whatever it is. I'm trying my best to teach them how to have thick skin. And for me, that's my way of protecting them at this age and onward. I don't ever want them to feel victimized or unprepared for the slings and arrows that come in this world. And I want them to have their confidence and their self-esteem at full tilt at all times. And for me, that's teaching them, hey, I don't care what he said. I don't care what she said. I don't care what he's doing. I don't care what she's doing. What do you think? How do you feel? That's more important, you know? And so I really am leaning really hard into having them be very tough-minded and competitive and hardworking. And hopefully those things will manifest in them being just tough customers when they get out there in the world, because that's what's required.
What do you
Go ahead, Mel.
What do you think is something that you learned from your parents, or like a really fundamental teaching that your parents gave to you based off of how you grew up that helped you on your journey to who you are now?
Well, I'm an immigrant baby. I'm the first American born in my family. And so my parents are from Guyana. And, well, you Guyanese?
You don't see my gold eagle?
Wait
Let me find out you got BT massive.
Hey.
Wow, that is so crazy
How
because
you
I
doing?
too
Uh-huh.
I am the only firstborn generation Canadian in my
Okay.
family. My
All
brother is
right.
born in Guyana. My parents are born in Guyana. Everybody. I'm the only one that was born in Canada.
All right.
That's wild.
So you know what I'm about to say then. You know what it is. You know?
I do.
We the child of Guyanese immigrants. It's all about education. It's all about achievement. It's all about, my grandfather used to say, Shani, when you're out in the world, you mustn't just be on the team. You must be the captain. You know? Like, that's what you're raised with, and that's what's pushed on you, you know? And so I'm so proud of my immigrant background and have my Guyanese parents, because they came to this country to go to college. They went to Howard University, and I was born
I know
while
that's right.
and
How
I was
did I know
born.
that?
What?
How do
I
I
don't
not know that?
I don't know.
Hey, in this
Yeah.
episode.
And they were born. I was born while they were at Howard,
Wow.
and so they just had just fearlessness and just all about the business and getting stuff done, and so that's all I saw growing up. That's what I knew, and I have to credit them for just giving me this sense of adventurousness, to be honest with you, because coming up here when you're 18, 19 years old to this brand new place that's a whole different world, and having a baby and then like moving on from there, like that's crazy, but they did it, you know. And I feel like for me, you know, there's something you learn from that you can't help but at least try to fly, you know.
You just literally made a connection for me in my own journey, because my parents immigrated to Canada in the
Okay.
70s. You know, they left my brother in Guyana with my grandmother
Very
while they
common.
came to establish citizenship and a
Yeah.
life. And
Mhm.
they literally abandoned everything that they know and did and knew and everything to then come to a completely different country, a completely different climate, to become janitors, to cleaning banks, to starting over whatever their education and their professional life that they had in Guyana. It did not equate when they immigrated to Canada.
No.
And so my parents literally started their lives over and then had to send for my brother and send for my grandmother and have them come up and establish this whole new life. And it's
Yes.
really interesting because my mom more specifically, was so strict growing up. Like, she didn't business about what any North American people were doing. I might as well have been growing up in Guyana in my house before I stepped out of those doors.
Me too.
You know?
Me too.
And when I had the opportunity to go to the States to pursue music, I was shocked at the level of support
Yes.
my parents gave me to do so, because it did not align with who I registered them to be. These were the people that were like, you can't go out, you can't have a cell phone, you can't go nowhere, you can't do nothing. But when it came to me pursuing this dream or this goal, I was shocked at how willing they were to let me go to this day. But hearing you say this in this moment, it's like, even though their traditional mentality of how they grew up in Guyana, they still had a spirit of, I have to go after this to try a hard thing to make my life better. And I think that even now I could just have so much more appreciation in this exact moment for that spirit being the thing that probably allowed my parents to say, go fly.
Yes.
Even
absolutely.
though, you know, you got your girl child out in the world, you just let her go to California.
Yeah.
Who is she living with? Who is this woman? Who is this man? Who say
What
he
going
got
on
promises and wreck a deal and all kind of things.
All
You know,
kind
so
of thing. You got that boy gallivanting all over New York.
gallivanting out here and got her brought up.
Gallivanting.
See, you know, so it's interesting to hear you say that, because I'm really just making that connection, is that as traditional and as strict, and I think as, you know, I felt like limited growing up as far as how my parents were able to like acclimate and let us acclimate to the way friends of ours were doing things around us. When it
Yeah.
came to that big step, there
Mhm.
was no resistance. And I'm realizing that, like, truly that subconscious thing of seeing your parents immigrate to a new country,
Mhm.
start their life over, rebuild and build and continue to build so that you can get to a place where you're at. It
Yeah.
is a subconscious foundation that you're given, a gift.
Absolutely.
It's
There's no
a
doubt
gift.
about
And
it.
that foundation for me is just, it truly is, without even, like naming it along the way. It's the thing that allows you to keep pursuing the next best version of yourself.
Absolutely.
So that's wow. That's really
Yeah.
beautiful. Thank you for helping me align on that, because that's really, really
Yeah.
rare. I don't meet many people, I feel like, who had a similar background as me.
Yeah. Yeah.
In same
Georgetown in
country,
the
culture,
house.
all that. Yes, my
Yeah.
parents, same. Absolutely.
Wow. Look at
Wow,
that.
guys. I know. I don't know how I didn't know that either. Wait, it brings me to one question, and then we will totally like let you have your day back. Well,
Okay.
unless the girls have other questions.
Uh,
So you being Guyanese and Annika being from New Orleans,
Yes.
those are like very rich cultures.
mhm.
How does this blend in the house? What are we cooking? What are we? What are the holidays
what?
looking like?
Here's what the holidays are looking like. Here's a perfect example. Every Christmas time, my wife makes Korean roti, which is what I grew up with. She got on YouTube and she learned how to make roti. She learned how to make curry. My mom recommended the spices to use and everything. And Annika literally learned how to make Korean roti, and it's incredible. And all four of us make it together. It's like a family tradition now. Every Christmas time, we make Korean roti. And
So,
then
and what time on Christmas Day? Just
we do that
curious.
Christmas Eve,
Okay,
December
noted.
24th. That's when we do it. Okay,
Yep.
you know where we live. And then every New Year's Eve we make beignets.
Aw.
And so that whole holiday time we kind of mix both of the cultures there, at least when it comes to food.
I just
That's
love
beautiful.
Yeah.
much. It's so beautiful. And the only thing I was going to say actually is that when you were talking about protection and how you viewed protecting your child, I was going to say you've already done that, because the story you told about your son going up to his coach and telling him that he no longer wanted to do gymnastics, like you've already given him that tough skin. You've already given him that skill set. So I feel like you should be very proud because your child is living in action. He's already doing all of that now. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah. I very, very proud of him. Very proud of him. I saw that and I thought, okay, we're doing something right.
yes, 1,000%.
Yeah.
I love it.
This was great.
Well, thank you, Sean, so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Where do we find you? Where does our audience follow you and your journey besides Gen V on Amazon Prime?
Are you talking about what am I doing next, or
Social? Yeah, what are
on
you
social
doing
media?
next? Yes.
Okay,
all
well,
of that.
social media, I'm at Sean P. Thomas on Instagram. And I think I'm at Sean P. Thomas as well on, is it TikTok? Yeah, TikTok. And Twitter, I had to cut that out because I'm not dealing with that foolishness.
Nope.
So that's where I am there. And right now, I'm just hoping and expecting for season 3 of Gen V, because it's one of the best shows out there right now. And I'm so proud to be a part of it. I'm very excited for everybody to see the season finale next week.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes. We will make sure folks know about it. And just, we're so grateful. This has been amazing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. This was truly a really awesome episode. I had no idea where this episode was going to go, and it's just so fascinating to learn more about the people behind the art. It's really important. So thank you for sharing everything you did with us today. We do not have a listener letter today, but if you have any questions for our listeners and you want to ask us, comment, share anything with us, the Mama's Den, please email us at podcasts with an S at blacklove.com, and we will do our best to get back to you and feature your question on the show.
And always, as always, Village, you can DM us on Instagram at the Mama's Den Podcast. Leave us reviews and rate the show. And please tell us what you think of this episode, because we already love it. So we know it's going to be 10 out of 10.
All right.
And see y'all next Monday.
Well, I
All
will
right.
see you December 24th.
Okay.
Same. Okay.
I'm bringing you pepper pots. I'm bringing you pepper pots.
You bring out the pepper pot? Okay. And some saltfish and bake?
Hey,
Hey.
my face.
Yeah.
I'll bring my
All
fork.
right.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you. Same. Thank you,
Thanks,
Sean.
guys.
All right, good to see you, Cody.
Fun.